30 seconds until minions spawn.
So carefree. You have no schedule.
Hello, hello! Welcome. My name's Kudohlol. I play a lot of different video games. My favorite part about gaming is the creativity and the thinking of it and breaking it down and analyzing it and getting better at them, and that's a fundamental thing to do in all gaming. I love to play characters who people believe are terrible. I've been doing this since the beginning of the inception of League of Legends. Let me give you a brief summary of my qualifications. I am currently Emerald 4, which is not very high elo. I believe I'm much better than I am. I'm not gonna lie, I've been targeted by some people who don't like me, and they get on a lot of alt accounts and repeatedly troll me and call me the N-bomb on my stream, and that's okay. I can't control other people, and I don't really care. The rank doesn't mean anything to me anyway. I'm not getting paid to play this game. However, in the early days of League, I was in the top elo, played against Double Lift, played against Nintendo, played against Scara, Hwei, Phantom Lord. They might not remember who I am, but that's alright. I remember playing and beating them in the early season 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, my main account is perma-banned as I was a toxic young boy. My mom died when I was 22, and I was going through quite a hard time, and gaming was my escape, and I'm sure you all know gaming is full of toxic people, and it doesn't help if you're feeling down. People are pretty rude. Anyway, that's my shitty qualifications. You can take what you want from it. It doesn't bother me whether you believe me or not. This video here is for Hwei, the new champion. He has an abysmal win rate, which is fine, because I think Cassante had the same thing, because he's a little more complicated than your typical champion. And that means people will struggle with him. First of all, a lot of people are already terrible at skill shots. So playing a guy who's relying on pretty much everything that's a skill shot, on top of having to be good at the combos, my first 10-15 games went really poorly because, as you know, League of Legends has quite a bit of a movement creep, and the game is way faster than it has ever been. So if you're not proficient with his skills and combos, I mean, when you miss one, it's gonna be a bad news bears. Like my first 10 games, I wasn't using EQ at all, and I'm pretty sure it's the best one. It's the best tool for setting up damage. It's a stun. It procs passive. Well, sets up the first part of the passive, and then you can get a passive proc with WE or QQ or QW, depending if he has no dashes or flashes or whatever, and you want to finish him off. QW is the finishing tool for sure. So, yeah, my first 10-15 games went really poorly, and I was trying all the runes: Comet Storm, Phase Rush, Electrocute, Dark Harvest, First Strike. I was running TP, I tried Ignite, I tried Ghost, I tried pretty much everything, and my most success so far has been Flash Barrier. And Electrocute, sorry. He kind of functions a lot like a Victor in the sense that you usually do a short trade to proc Electrocute in the early game, and then another full combo. Like if he stays at 60% or 70% health, and you land a full combo at 6, you'll probably get the kill without Ignite. Or you'll force his flash and maybe kill him with QW, or kill him after, because now he has no flash. Zed's obviously a pretty hard matchup because he's got a lot of dashes, and I'm respecting him. The gameplay in the background, I'll probably slow down, and I'm actually going to put on a game where I played with some Masters player, or Diamond player, I think he was, so that the people won't complain, oh, it's normals, they're bad. I agree, normals are full of bad players, but as a person who analyzes the champion, analyzes what they can and cannot do, I think he's going to be very competitively viable. He's a lot like a Victor. He has really good wave clear. He'll keep his turret protected forever. Especially, I think now he has level 4 Q or level 5 Q is like a 1 Q clear for the range minions, and the melees will be really low, and because you have no range minion, your minions will push in and you'll be able to clean up the melees easily. And that also sets up in the sense that like skill shot champions struggle when they can't wave clear. Then the player will just like dance around the minions and poke you because he knows you can't hit your skill shots because there's things that are blocking him. But when a champion has a really good wave clear, it opens up the door for now hitting your fear and doing your combos, or forcing them to step up the minions while you don't need to because yours are already dead. As you can see, like right there with Zed coming in after he's trying to punish me because I used an ability, then I use my fear, and then his Q. Anyway, his Q's are really short cooldown, and his E's are really short cooldown late game. Like really, they're not long at all. They're like 4 to 6 seconds. Another thing, a lot of people complain W is like, oh, it's a long cooldown, and you have to use it for the mana regen, so you don't ever get to use the other abilities. But the buff for the Nami whatever autos stays on for quite some time, so you can activate it like a good 10-15 seconds before the wave even hits and get all 3 hits off anyway, and your W's burnt coming back off cooldown. So you do usually have options. Also, like, I know the shield's not amazing, and the run speed the run speed is actually really good. I think it's going to be sick for teammate for high level play. It's gonna give you all your teammates 30-40% movement. It's like a silver ult, but not on an ult. And he's really good in like the backline, especially if there's any frontline or people who can allow him to play like Victor, like sitting in the back and just lasering and dropping stuns and lasering. He's gonna be really proficient, and his passive is a lot of AoE damage, which is why I think like his numbers are low. So people think his tuning is weak, but like his passive is free damage. So he probably has low ratios because his passive is an extra damage ability all the time. One thing I do want to know though is he really sucks at clearing jungle. Even when I was like 4 or 3 items, killing a blue buff at one point. Maybe I'll find the game. It took way too long. Like his passive should trigger on large jungle minions, or maybe even objectives like Baron and Dragon, I think, because if you're gonna bake his kid into having low damage because of the passive, like, then if the passive's not available for killing minions, like big minions, he's really slow to kill them. However, his QQ has max damage percentage on it, so that probably helps with like Baron and Dragon. But killing blue buff took me way too long, and I'm pretty sure I had Nashor's too, or maybe not that game. Anyway, let's get another game going. I'll go through my level 1 to 4 process. Here's going to be my thumbnail for the video because I got a lot of wins on him. But I'll go through. I'm gonna go through the game I lost, but I think it had the best players. Like this lane unfortunately got destroyed by him. I'm pretty sure this guy gave up and wasn't trying at all. He literally never was involved anywhere and was just inting and died many times with Flash. Or not many times, but I know he died once with Flash because I watched the replay. So I don't think he cared. But we'll watch the gameplay anyway, because I was doing well and my jungler was doing well with me, and so was the support. So yeah, he's the highest level player. He was the highest ranked player in the game. Where am I? I am here. We'll go to... Oh yeah, we have a scrappy level 1 play, I believe. He's got a lot of cool things about him. Like in late game team fights, this QE and EE can set up a ton of AoE, and if you put an ult on top and they're like 3-4 people, man, they're taking tons of damage. They're like, the passive's triggering, the EE is pulling them in the QE, the ult is AoE damage. We just narrowly survived there, that's fine. I was peeling for my homie, so we trade Ignite for a shield, that's good. So for me, the runes, I think, are what really are important. I don't think Comet Storm is good on him at all. Phase Rush maybe could be good on him in certain matchups. I still have like only 30-40 games on this guy, and I will continue to keep playing him, and each time I play him I get better and better. I know at the beginning I was always trying to hit QQ and EE, and I was losing lanes a lot because the EE, if you miss it, it doesn't really do much. It's not a stun. It was like they all were reading it too. That's the thing about him. Like he has a lot of options to play. So if you don't play the same way all the time, it's hard for them to read what you're doing, and people are not used to him yet. So all my games now, I QE right away the first wave, and it helps me get level 2 first. They can't wave clear quick enough. It's too much damage. It's the whole lane taking like an Oriana Q. And then, this is what I get level 2 first, I take WE right away, I look for an auto on the guy, if they let me get the auto, I will proc electrocute, and that gives me some mana back. I'm gonna try to hit a QQ. Somebody's inviting me, I'm just gonna let them know, Sorry about that. I'll let this out. Okay, back to the game. So, I get the Prio advantage, which is great for high level play. Like, you can roam first, and that helps your jungler secure top scuttle, and you get level 2 or 3 first. I think here you got it because it's bouncing way back, but that's okay with me. We're gonna even state by wave 4. I'm running electrocute, I take magical footwear, and I take Dominion materializer, however it's said. I use 2 on the range creeps, and I use 1 on the first cannon to help me get a nice shove in on that first cannon. And that's typically when I go for a buy. Like, I get a huge pushing advantage because I wipe the range minions easily. I get rid of the cannon with the deminializer at 100% health, and then I auto down the melees. And like, he's got this huge wave he has to deal with, and I go for my first back timer, which here I'm doing it right now. You see it. So that allows me to not run teleport and not get stuck in a lane with no mana, low HP. Oh yeah, I get it again. Survive it, flash barrier, okay. And then I think my jungler reacts and gets a kill. Good job. Okay. So this is how I start all my 1 to 4, or 5 I guess. I Dominion I can't speak English. I get my back timer. I'm looking for either Lost Chapter if I CS really good early, or I'm buying Amplifying Tome and Seal or whatever. Usually is my first back. He doesn't really need mana from Lost Chapter per se because of WE. WE gives him permanent mana to play all the time. So that's an awesome part of his kit. Like, you'll be in a lane with an Akali, and like, you know, he's an energy user, and you're like, oh well, eventually I'll go and they'll beat me. But no, not with him. He'll always pretty much have mana. It'll be very hard to get him out of lane on mana. So he has good wave clearing in wave state. I'll say that I had 2 really bad games against Lux, who also took Dominion Materializer, and she was also Diamond. She hard shoved super quick. She was burning her ult to push wave, and then she would hit her QE once or twice, and eventually just one-shot me. And then when she was super ahead, basically we lost. We were losing the game everywhere. However, I don't like consider that like Hwei sucks. Cause like like the jungler's supposed to punish. Like even me, if I'm fucking hard shoving straight to a tower and standing in front of the fucking tower repeatedly, it's a team game. Like that's punishable. Yeah, it's good if no one can punish. But in a lot of games, if there's even states everywhere else, you know, the jungler will just come there and be like, well, you're free kills. I'm gonna go back here because I was talking, but... So you can see with all, I pretty much always start with EQ in my fights. That is how you combo, because it's like a stun. So he looks for a trade. Is it here? What's going on? Sorry. All them guys are not very good. See, I did a short trade, proc electrocute. Now he commits here. I hit 6, land everything. He's low. We auto him down. That's great. If we didn't auto him down, we can QW finish him. Because usually that's what you're doing. You're usually EQing into QQ, and Prosa will proc, and then if your ult's on him, it's doing the ticking slow, big burst, then you QW finish. And they have low missing health or whatever, that does a lot more. Some things I like about him, not only does he have great wave clear and can like I go back many times more than others and get new items and they're just stuck in lane. He also is like in this state, like maybe Jason wants to leave the lane because I got a free buy and he's pissed off about it. But you can stop backs easily. If you have vision of where their backs are, you have the QW, and you can be an annoying person. You can stop people from backing if they're sitting here, or here, or here. Like, you can really stop people from recalling a lot. And I think that's a really OP tool. Like, that's definitely a tool. We'll watch the rest of the game. But I think if you take these runes, they allow you to start your 1 to 5 well, and I think a lot of high-end league players would agree that that's mostly the most, like the 1 to 6 is one of the most important parts of the game. It starts the tempo of whether you're fed or not, and like it's part of what makes a champion viable or not. If you can't lane, you can't play the game. So I'm making this video just to give some people some tips. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with what I've said so far. I'll probably upload it like this, and I want people to comment and maybe try it out themselves. See how it feels. As for build, I'm still experimenting a lot. Unfortunately, I'm using Crown in all these games because I find a lot of people are picking assassins and just trying to get straight on him and one-shot him because he's pretty slow and not really tanky. But with the barrier and the Crown, it becomes really hard to kill you. And then I was making Demonic into Riley's, and I was like just being really annoying with slows and proc and passives and being hard to kill, and his Q's like a 3. I think once you have like 3-4 items, it's like a 3-second cooldown if you went like Cosmic Drive or something in your build. I forgot to mention that I usually run Ultimate Hunter in the red tree too, and the thing that does true damage for impairment and slowing effects. And eyeball collecting. I find his ult is a little bit long cooldown for what it is, so I took the Ultimate Hunter. However, like the movement speed one could be pretty good too, like Katarina, like having the out of combat movement speed. I'm not sure. I almost killed Jace there. Let's take it back. It's fine. We drain our cooldowns. To come back, I'll come back. Oh, I got my crown. I have multiple games where I get crowned by 10 minutes. Like repeatedly, like every game actually. I have by 10 to 11 minutes max. Now once I get my crown, I one-shot E minions in the back with QE, and now you're in a driver's seat for wave clear. Like we almost trade here, and look, we don't have Ezreal. We played that like 2v4, and we almost got 2 for 2. If I had teammates with me, I would have been able to get way more combos off and we would have slaughtered them. Why did it get off my guy? Basically, in lane, I proc electrocute with WE and QQ. That's my short trade. I look for like one short trade into if I land a EQ while they're like 60%, into R, into QQ. They're probably dead already. If they're not dying off of that combo, your QW comes off of cooldown about 2 seconds, 3 seconds after your ult will proc. So if he has no flash, you can snipe him. If he has flash, he'll burn it. If he has no flash and you land your ult, there's a good chance you just kill him with QW. But I think he has great wave clear. He's really good in team fights, especially if you have front line. And he's kind of like a Lux, like his EQ is like a bind and then he nukes you. But he has a lot of AoE. And I like his skill expression. I think I went through everything I need to say, so we'll just watch some games. We'll see how they're lanes. This is my favorite champion right now. My main criticism would be that he needs probably his passive to trigger on Dragon and Baron and large minion monsters, maybe like Red and Blue buff and Gromp and whatever. His EW has some like times where the bind doesn't even work, like if they dash out of range. I saw a Reddit post where people said that it has a maximum range, so it fizzles out. Which that doesn't feel that great, but it is what it is.
Shut down. Double kill. Red team's turret has been destroyed.
This guy's like really doing bad. Let's go to a new game. We end up losing this game. I want to know if I go, like, I know there's some more action, but it's not that important. It doesn't really matter. It is what it is. Let's watch another early game. Oh, this game was pretty crazy. Ah, sure, why not? Let's watch it. All my level 1 to 4s are pretty much identical. I do that D-Minion materializer to get my free back. I wave clear. The wave clear helps you force them into trades they don't want. If you're looking to like walk up and hit your EQ and, you know, like just kill them with nothing, with no wave state help, I haven't had any success, but I also was worse at the character when I was trying those things. Now my combos are much more clean. So I always start Doran's Ring, 2 pots.
Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
So carefree.
I think he's gonna have pretty cool kill expression because of skill expression. Sorry, with his like you can telegraph what ability you're using and then cancel it and stuff. Like I think really good players are gonna be doing some mind game shit. Like I can foresee this guy and like the best players of hands becoming like unreal, bro. Unreal. Like they're gonna be selling that they're about to do an ability, cancel it, do another ability. Like there's a lot of skill expression in this character. Oh, this is Camille. Okay, yeah. Again, normals. I would love to take him to rank to test my skills now, but at this point, I don't want to bother, because he's probably gonna get banned a lot, and teammates are gonna troll when you pick him or try to force dodges. And then if those dodges don't go through, there's gonna be like a bunch of suboptimal champions or maybe summoner skills. and you're gonna lose games just because people assume you're completely terrible at the champion. I don't blame them. I was terrible at the champion in my first 20 games, but I think I could play him in rank now. I think he's just as good as my Victor or Ari or any other mage. But I'll wait until people realize that he's better. Like, a lot of people are jump to conclusions really quick on who's good and who's bad. Like, if I recall, Cassante, like, people were like, "Oh, this is the worst champion ever," and I started playing him. I really like Cassante. I think he's like a Yasuo tank. I loved him. And then obviously where we're at now, and Cassante is Giga Chad, top tier, even better. And the higher the elo you go, his win rate goes higher and higher as more people can play around him better. So yeah, another game, got to 6 clean. I mean, it's a Camille. I don't know if she should even be in middle, but any champion that needs to dash on you, like a Kali or maybe like a Xin Zhao, or anyone like a direct line, like Raya, for example, when she runs at you, you have your EQ. You always EQ them off, then QQ, passive prong, and then if you R and then use another Q ability, they die. Definitely like having barrier. He's kind of squishy. Helps you survive some scenarios where I guarantee you're dead to an assassin. In that scenario, no barrier, I'm 100% dead. You know what? I'm gonna stop it here. I'm happy with what I said. I've shown a couple of 1 to 6s, and we'll upload it like this. And I want to hear some feedback from some people on Reddit. I encourage you to try what I'm doing yourself, and maybe you're in higher elo or you're willing to take it to rank because you don't care about negative people. I've actually been having more fun playing normals the last 2 days, because when it goes bad, nobody just cares. They just FF and we go to a new game, and nobody's holding each other hostage because it's LP points and they need them. Normals have been fun, but I would love for people to try what I've been doing and see if it works for you. I think his win rate will go up. I definitely have much better. I've won a lot more games in my last 15 than I did when I first started.